they attempted to hide us from those pains, hide us from that suffering by conditioning us in different ways. It's a once in a lifetime's opportunity, not lifetime, lifetime's opportunity, okay? It is one of these opportunities that not many people get. So you're gonna really love to tap into spiritual things during this time, okay? More than the average, okay? Even your friends are gonna talk to you and be like, wow, you're like super spiritual. I didn't know this side about you, or I didn't know this side of you. You know somebody who is trying to heal their generational trauma, trying to release those generational curses. This is gonna be a video for them, so make sure to share it with them. Hello, y'all. Welcome back to Transformation to Expansion. I'm your host, LaJoy Bradley, and this week we're going to talk about healing generational curses, healing generational trauma, healing our ancestors, and really tapping into energy with ease, okay? And when I say ease, I mean ease, okay? Structured ease, where we're allowed to tap into our spiritual aspects of ourselves, tap into our ancestors, and really create a healing process that is magical. And we're doing this through the Gate of the Gods portal that started back in January. And now we are experiencing the tail end of it with this Silver Key portal that is going to be happening on February 28th. But we're going to feel a little bit of that energy in February 22nd, okay? So I made this video for y'all to start working on this stuff now with ease. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show y'all and give y'all the link to a free journal that will help you do this with ease without you having to think about anything, without you having to sign up for any workshop or any retreat. All you need to do is watch this video, follow the instructions that I'm about to give you, and then do the journal. And I'll give that link to the journal for free in the description below, okay? It's all for free. Make sure to like and subscribe, especially if this helps you in any way. Make sure to share it with your friends to make sure they're prepared to release that ancestral curses, those ancestral drama, and make sure that you tell somebody, if you know somebody who is trying to heal their generational trauma, trying to release those generational curses, this is going to be a video for them. So make sure to share it with them, okay? So let's get into it. So this portal is going to be super powerful. It's giving more moon energy, more feminine energy, more energy that's going to be tied into our emotions, especially the emotions that we choose to hide. And yes, I said choose because at the end of the day, that's what we do. We're choosing to hide them, okay? And so this portal is going to be really powerful. It's going to be a really ideal time to go inward, not to be around anybody. If you can, isolate yourself where it's safe, in a safe way, in a safe environment, in a safe setting. It's a really great time to go inward. It's a really great time to reflect, okay? That's what that journal is going to be for at the end of this video, okay? Because we're dealing with such strong moon energy, it's really important to make sure, starting on the 22nd, every day you're doing something little, okay? It doesn't have to be a big thing. It doesn't have to be a retreat. If it's a retreat, that's great. If it's a workshop that you're doing, that's great too, right? But for those of y'all who are like, oh my God, I don't know. I didn't know about this. Like, how do I prepare? Don't worry about it, right? You just need to do something little by little, and you need to input that structure of doing something little by little every day, okay? Because we're going to start to talk about Saturn. Saturn plays a huge part in this also, okay? So during this time, Saturn is going to be in Pisces, and so is Neptune. But Neptune is in Pisces. That's its like favorite sign to be in, because Neptune is very spiritual. Neptune is very watery. Neptune is very deep, and so it loves to be in Pisces. And so you're going to really love to tap into spiritual things during this time, okay? More than the average, okay? Even your friends are going to talk to you and be like, wow, you're like super spiritual. I didn't know this side about you, or I didn't know this side of you. And so, you're going to just be more spiritual during this time, but also Saturn's going to be in Pisces. And Saturn doesn't necessarily like to be in Pisces because it likes structure. It likes, rules. And Pisces is very flowy and very watery and very like, let's just improv, like, yeah, like that's a good, that's a good comparison. Pisces, right? Neptune in Pisces is perfect. It's like the improv, it's like jazz, right? Whereas Saturn is more like classical music, reading the sheet, making sure that, if you're playing Brahms or if you're playing Beethoven, it sounds like Beethoven. Like, this is very, if I can give like a comparison, that's a really good comparison, right? Or a good analogy. And so Saturn's in Pisces. So it's like you get a person who's trained classical musician and only trained in reading the paper and playing the note exactly how it's read on the paper. And you're throwing them in with a jazz band and they've never played jazz before. They've never improv before. It's not super comfortable, but to help Saturn be more comfortable, we can add structure to this energy, structure to this time to help Saturn be more comfortable in the environment. So for example, with the analogy, it's like giving the classical musician being like, okay, hey, we're going to play in C major and then D major and then go back to G major or A minor. I don't really know at this point. But again, you're making it so that, the musician who hasn't played jazz before is like, oh, I know what C major is. Oh, I know what D major is, or whatever the analogy was. I can do that. Right? So we have to kind of accommodate, or Pisces, that energy, the energy of being spiritual, being flowy, has to accommodate a little bit, right? By adding some structure into this process of ancestral healing, of healing generational curses. And this portal is here to help you, and it's here to help you do this with ease, okay? And I'm talking about, for those of y'all who are like, yeah, I did a journal, or I did like this, I'm going to journal for 21 days 2 years ago, and then I never, after 3 days, I didn't complete it. This portal is going to help you with that aspect, right? With that aspect of actually following through with this and committing to it. So before we get into, how you're going to heal and the importance of healing your ancestors, and the importance of healing generational curses, I wanted to really get into kind of why you're doing this, right? We are living in a time where everybody is transcending, everybody is transforming themselves in some way, okay? And it's really crazy because, some people will be like, oh, that family member never changes, they're never going to change. But I think everybody is feeling this energy, even if it is subtle, okay? Doesn't have to be a big thing, doesn't have to be, they went from working out and like no days out of the year to working out every single day. It could be something like, they don't really like working out, but now they're going for walks and, once or twice a week. It can be subtle. So make sure to tune into those subtleties, especially if you're waiting for somebody in your family to change or to help you lift these generational curses. Because yes, you do have the power to do it on your own, especially within your body, because there are experiences and information that is kind of trapped in our DNA. And you can do it on your own, but it also is a collective thing. And so we are all doing our own part in our own way, right? So really recognize that. And really, if you can do this, recognize that in the people who surround you and the people who might not be doing as much as you, but are still doing their part, are still doing what they can, okay? And help motivate that and help motivate them to continue on that path. But this is all for the process of spiritual ascension. In the next 20 years, we are going through this really beautiful process of spiritual ascension, transcendence, ascension, transformation, expansion, that is really going to really warp a lot of our perceptions of what this world is for and who we are and what we're supposed to be doing here. It's really beautiful, actually. It's a really beautiful process. It is going to be a little messy. It's going to be a little shaky. It's going to be a little shocking, but it's a really beautiful process that, you are living through in this time for a reason. I know a lot of y'all, might not believe this. Some of y'all might believe this, but this is a very Get started on your wellness journey today. Whether you are starting your wellness journey in the middle of it or finishing it, this library will help you so much. It is a free wellness library with over 50 resources on how to jumpstart your wellness. And really, it has so much more than that. It has full guides on how to quantum leap, full guides on how to manifest, and even my personal favorite, coloring books. Yes, and I'm talking unique coloring books. You already know who you're dealing with, okay? We have baobab coloring books, cactus plant coloring books, and so much more. And it's completely free. So please make sure to check it out, especially if you're on your wellness journey, or if you know a friend who is on the wellness journey and wants some free resources, please let them know about the wellness library, okay? The link is in the show notes below. I love y'all so much. Let's get back to the show. Special time. It's a once in a lifetime's opportunity, not lifetime's opportunity, okay? It is one of these opportunities that not many people get. And it's really important to just recognize that in all of the chaos, in all of the negativity that might be going on too. And so it's really important to acknowledge this, because when you transcend, when you empower yourself to change, to shift, to expand, that process, no matter how comfortable or uncomfortable it is, it's also changing your DNA. It's also changing that stuck DNA that is within you from your ancestors, from those ancestral curses. You are actively healing. When you transform yourself, when you expand yourself, you are actively healing those aspects of you that maybe in the past were a lot harder to heal. You have to recognize those aspects that I'm going to summarize for y'all real quick. The first aspect is that everybody is healing their generational trauma in sometimes small ways, sometimes it's in big ways, right? We're all healing it. It's not just a you thing. It's, your siblings, your parents, your guardians, your cousins. It's not just a you thing. It is a collective experience. Everybody's experiencing this in some way. And when it comes to breaking generational curses, when it comes to breaking generational trauma, it has this aspect about it that isn't very, very pretty. It's uncomfortable because we have to acknowledge some of the old ways that we've hidden. Some of the old practices, some of the old reactions that we've hidden. We have to face them. That's where the journaling comes in. That's where the visualization comes in. That's where the past regression analysis comes in if you need it. And so it's so important to recognize this because it's an ongoing process, right? But this portal is going to help you really release. If you set the time, if you set the environment, if you set the right conditions, you can really release a lot during this portal. Okay, remember it starts on the 22nd, okay? Ends around the 28th. When it comes to ancestral healing, there are so many resources online to heal your ancestors. There are so many ways to tap in to your ancestors. Yes, you can, go to a workshop on this. Yes, you can look up videos on this. But you absolutely need to. The easiest way to do this, really to tap into ancestral healing, is to go within. Do a quick meditation, 5 minutes if you can. If you can't meditate, it's okay. Do a yoga flow. And just do something that clears your mind, okay? So what you guys know yourself best. Whatever clears your mind, that's what I want you to do intentionally for, if you can, 30 minutes. After those 30 minutes, ask within yourself, how can I heal my ancestors? Or you can call on your ancestors, how can I help you heal? Do I need to heal? Do I need to heal this generational trauma? Do I need to heal these generational curses? That's all you got to do. It's really simple, okay? So that's Ancestral Healing. And again, we'll talk about that journal of what to do to help you with this at the end, okay? Same thing with generational curses. So generational curses, these are kind of like the experiences and the habits that keep, the stories that we keep on telling ourselves over and over. The stories that your grandma told herself, the stories that your great-great-grandma told herself, the stories that your mother told herself that get passed on from generation to generation, right? These generational curses, for a lot of y'all, these are super recent, okay? But that's generational curses, okay? So these are a little bit more recent, but these are the stories. These are like, when you sit down, you ask your parents or your mom or your dad, why are we poor? And they tell you, oh, that's just the way it is. Your grandma was poor, your grandfather was poor, your great-great-grandfather was poor. Those stories, this is just an example, but those stories, right? Those are what promote your generational curses. Okay. And a lot of limiting beliefs are tied to these generational curses. This is what I'm going to be journaling in for the next 7 days. And this is going to help me unlock those generational curses. Okay. A lot of these are tied because, again, those limiting beliefs usually come to us, not all the time, but most of the time comes to us when we're small. And it usually comes to somebody who we saw as our guardians, okay? Could be your mom, your dad, could be your grandfather, could be a cousin, could be a friend, could be a teacher. And a lot of those beliefs that they tell us are actually limiting beliefs. And those limiting beliefs, they limit us, right? Because they, at the time, they wanted to make sure that we were comfortable. They wanted us to be comfortable in who we are because a lot of generations before us, they didn't really they dealt with discomfort, but sometimes that discomfort came with pain. Sometimes that discomfort came with too much pain, too much suffering. And so they attempted to hide us from those pains, hide us from that suffering by conditioning us in different ways, by giving us certain beliefs to help us avoid those situations. And sometimes it really helps us, right? But sometimes, those beliefs keep us in a bubble or keep us in a square and it actually boxes us in, right? And a lot of the jobs of a lot of millennials coming in, I guess we came in at this point, but a lot of millennials, a lot of Gen Z, this is going to be part of our job is undoing those limiting beliefs, healing those generational curses by healing our ancestors, by acknowledging and starting to undo and release the generational curses. Through this processing, we start to get into higher consciousness or heightened awareness. Not after, but during. Once you start this process, you're starting to do this automatically. And this higher conscious state is one big breakthrough that a lot of y'all are going to have this year. Because we are in a 9 year. This is the year of completion. A lot of y'all are going to feel this energy. I'm preparing y'all through these videos. And even when I'm working or when I'm not working, but when I'm talking with guests, we're all here to help you get to a higher consciousness every year, every month, okay? And this year, especially in September, there's going to be a big release of higher consciousness. This is going to be a point where a lot of people are going to be like, oh, wait, yeah, I should start going inward. Oh, wait, yeah, actually, I spent the last year complaining. I spent the last year being upset. That didn't really get me anywhere. So let me try to do something different. September, I'm telling y'all, in September, people are just gonna, they're gonna have a higher consciousness automatically, because that's the biggest thing we can do this year. This whole year is all about this. It's all about realizing this. It's all about realizing It's all about realizing. It's all about realizing who you are and what serves you. What is going to serve you the most? And it's going inward. It's focusing on you. It's not focusing on all the negativity that's on the media or on your phone or, you know, that you're watching or that people are talking about at work. It's not focusing on the negativity. It's focusing on what's going on within you. The only way to get to higher consciousness is going within. There's different ways of going within, but you have to go within to do this. When we're doing that ancestral healing, when you're going to do your yoga for 30 minutes or your meditation for 30 minutes and then ask your ancestors how to heal or if they need healing, you're doing this. You're going inward. You're raising your frequency. Once more of us, notice I didn't say all, once more of us start to do this, once we start to get into higher consciousness, this portal, especially in February, is going to help us with this, amplifying our vibration so that other people can start to tap into this process. On February 28th, you will have an opportunity to do this, to really feel your inner power, your inner knowing, and amplify your vibration. Be super aware of this, because this can go both ways. You can amplify it in a positive way. You can amplify it in a negative way. That's why I say that week, really try to isolate yourself, try to go within, and really try to process the emotions that are going on. Try to process the things that are triggering you. Try to liberate the limiting beliefs, okay, that are triggering you to go into the same practices that are triggering you to react the same, respond the same to the same situation, especially for those of y'all who have the same situation coming up over and over and over again. Look at your limiting beliefs. Talk to your ancestors. Release the generational curses. Release those beliefs that came from your generational curses. This way you can amplify your vibration in a positive way on the 28th. But you got to do the work leading up to that. Like I said earlier, Saturn is not comfortable right now. So you have to kind of help help Saturn out a little bit and make it a little bit more comfortable by adding some structure into that. Dedicating time every day. 5 minutes. Doesn't have to be a whole thing. 5 minutes. Literally 5 minutes. Open up your journal. Bam. Journal prompt right here. And you just have to open this book and start writing. That's it. If you have your own way, your own method that works, stick to that. Do that. Don't worry about this. If you have a method that works, you don't need this. Okay? Amplifying your vibration. Absolutely. You want to experience this on the 28th. Okay? So that's what this healing portal is all about, right? It's all leading up to each other, right? You can even do this the 22nd, the 23rd, the 24th, the 25th, the 26th. So you're already prepared for the 27th, the eve of the portal, and the 28th, the actual portal day, okay? This is a powerful healing portal. It is for you to go inward. Possibly even on the Patreon page. Maybe I'll try to do something on here on the Patreon page where we can do a community thing on the 28th. So we can all release together. If that's something you would like, comment below, because I want to make sure people are going to be there for that. So if you comment below and let me know you're interested in that, I'll do that. Okay? Just let me know. If I don't get any comments, y'all, I'm going to do it for me at that point. Okay? Or for the Patreon group, but it won't be on YouTube. So comment below if you want to see it on YouTube. This portal is really going to help us heal the generational curses, heal the generational trauma. It's a portal that amplifies the healing vibration. For some of us, there's going to be a lot of tears, okay? For those of us, for others of us who have been doing the work, we might not have as many tears, but we might want to release in some way, okay? And releasing is like so beautiful because this comes in so many different ways, okay? I know that there's like places now you can go and like break plates and stuff like that, and like, you know, but be safe, obviously, okay? Wear some visors, you know, glasses and stuff like that, but release that energy. If you need to release anger or resentment, release it. Release it, release it, release it. If you need to visualize, if you don't have any resources, you have your brain, you have your imagination. Visualize. Visualize you healing your ancestors. Visualize you releasing those generational curses. Visualize you heightening your consciousness. Visualize you amplifying your vibration. That's what this portal is about. That's what it's about, y'all. It's really a healing portal. It's a releasing. I like the word releasing, right? It's not necessarily like healing, but it's releasing. I'm releasing this energy. Okay, so what to do? So to make things easy for y'all, on the Patreon page, on the Wellness Library, links in the description below, there is a 7-day emotional processing journal for those of y'all who need it. It's absolutely free. I don't even think you need to sign up on Patreon, like, at all. You can just get the free download. It's literally there. Okay. For those of y'all in my Patreon family, you guys have access to this limiting beliefs journal. Because remember, those limiting beliefs are tied to generational curses. Okay. Y'all have access to this. Let me see if it'll. Okay. And this one is actually a 27-day journal that you have access to. But I want y'all to start on day 1 on the 22nd. Okay. But again, remember, this is so we can help make Saturn a little bit more comfortable, okay? Because remember, Saturn's in Pisces. Saturn does not like Pisces. Pisces is too flowy, let's go to the left. Oh, let's go to the right. Like, very, you know? So we're helping Saturn be more comfortable. And again, when you do this, you know, we all hear about that Mercury retrograde, right? When Saturn goes into retrograde, a lot of people have difficulty with structure. This is going to help you during that time, okay? So make sure to commit to that structure of ancestral healing, okay? Commit to the structure every day from the 22nd to the 28th. You need to commit to it, okay? And of course, for those of y'all who listened all the way to the end of this episode, y'all have a very special gift. It is in the description, not the description below, I'm so sorry. Comment on the YouTube channel, I watched till the end, and I will give you a link to the special gift that you guys have, okay? Just for you, just for y'all who watched all the way to the end. But this is so important. It's a very beautiful time. It's a very sacred time, and I really want y'all to honor that. And this is going to help you with your big release that's going to happen in September, okay? Leading up to September. There's going to be a huge release. I will have a ceremony in September for this. It will be free. I'll probably put it on YouTube, okay? But y'all need to do the work with me. I'll be doing this too. I already told you, I marked my pages in my journal, so I'll be doing this too, okay? If you want more details, if you need more questions, you can just email me. I think the email's on the Patreon page. You can literally email me, okay? So I love y'all so much, and I will talk to y'all next week. Peace.